got a huge show today, guys, and we're going live. I got both my co-hosts on here and a huge special guest that we've been trying to get up for quite some time. We'll bring him on in just a second. All right, I'm Scott Matthews, and I'm glad to be back. We are live here on the show today. I am with my two co-hosts. I'm going to introduce you right now because we got a big-time show, and we want to bring this huge guest in. My man, TK from TK Wins. What's up, T?
Hey, what's up, man? You know, I just flew in late last night to make it here today. I missed the fights with you on Friday night. I wish I could have made them
Saturday.
with you. Saturday. Excuse me. My days are off. I'm all messed up. But, you know, I saw you were out there enjoying yourself out there at the fights. I'm just getting ready to listen up today.
I took my kid. He had a great time. All right, let's bring in my other co-host, my man who gets me all jacked up each and every week, the CEO of the Sports Profits, Mr. Teddy Brooks. What's up, Teddy?
Good to be here. Let's get this party started.
Is that it? Let's get this party started. Hey, I want to just do a quick shout out to the Beyond the Score podcast. They switched time slots, and they gave us their slot because we were trying to bring Bruce on, and the best time for Bruce was now. So a big shout out to those guys for giving us the opportunity. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my best announcement I can do. Here he is, the great one from the UFC, 29 years on the mic, Mr. Bruce Buffer. What's up, Bruce?
Hi, Scott. How are you? Pleasure to be on the show.
You looking
TK,
good,
Ted.
Yep.
All big cheers to all of you guys.
Well,
thank you.
Man.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you the other night down at UFC 314. My son got a real thrill out of that, and I know you have a busy schedule, and they had security all over the place, Secret Service. It was like real tight, but you still made it over to us, and we really appreciate that. And
I think it's more like you made it over to me, but good job.
Yeah, it worked out. Actually, it was crazy because we got these seats and it gave us permission to go low. So that's the way we got hooked up with you. But again, I appreciate you giving us that opportunity. Hey, I wanted to ask you, in the 29 years you've been in the U.S., I think it's 29, correct?
Yeah, 29 as of February 16th, going for the big 30.
Wow, unbelievable. I'm doing this business over 30, so I know where you're going with that. What is your take? You've been the only ring announcer since day one, or has there been anyone before you?
Oh yeah, that's before. I mean, it's not ring announcer. Remember, Octagon.
Octagon. Excuse me. Okay.
I've been a ring announcer. I've announced boxing with my legendary brother Michael Buffer, and I've announced a single HBO show in the back, and previous. Done a lot of motivational speaking, and used to be in front of a crowd. But no, when it started out, the UFC started in 1993. I did not start until 1996. And they had one announcer, a couple different announcers before me. And then when I announced the first show in 96, it's because I managed a fighter down in Bayamon, Puerto Rico to the show there, threw a tuxedo in my bag and convinced the owner to let me be the announcer for the prelims to show him what I got. Because I basically told him, I said, I can help you build this brand. I'm a brand builder, as you may or may not know with my work with my legendary brother, Michael Buffer.
Yes.
And trademarking and marketing the Let's Get Ready to Rumble phrase. And I said, but in order to do anything I can do, because I believe it's going to be the biggest thing in sports, I need to be the announcer and grow with you with the sport. And I announced that show, and then they called me back for a second show 2 shows later. Then they hired somebody else. Then they asked me to co-star on the TV show Friends, which was the biggest comedy on TV, as myself. And I used that as fodder to meet with the owner and bartering power to meet with the owner on the set at lunch and just say, look, I've been asking for this job for 1.5 years. I feel like a girl waiting to be asked to the prom and nobody's asking me.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one more time. I'll help you build this brand, everything I can do. I don't want a dollar for that. I just want to grow as the announcer and become the voice of the Octagon. And it was the best poker hand I ever played. And I announced every single show for many, many, many years until they got to like 40 shows a year.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, well, I've announced as many as 39 in 1 year, and that was, that's a lot. So right now I do about 25, 28 shows. I have other appearances, whether it's the Formula One or the Raider games, football games, basketball games, and corporate events, many, many other things I do. But the UFC is my base. The Octagon is my love and my passion, and I love it. I'll keep going. There's another announcer that comes in and backs me up when I don't do the shows. He does the smaller shows and does a great job. And
he does it out of the Apex, right? Does he do it out of the Apex? I think what's
Apex or other cities,
Right.
when they're fight night shows, which I do a lot of.
Yeah.
There's 12 pay-per-views a year, and there's the rest for fight nights.
Yeah,
And when they go to a foreign country, the countries want me to be there, and that's the hardest part of the job is travel. That whole novelty is worn off.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You got it. Well, you're moving and grooving. You go like probably on a Friday, and you're there for a few days, and then you're in and out, right? Pretty much.
Domestically, I arrive on a Friday. I leave on a Sunday morning after the show, and internationally, I could be leaving on a Wednesday night for Japan and be home on a Sunday.
Wow, crazy. That's wear and tear. Hey, I want to ask you a question. Speaking of venues, do you have a favorite venue out there that you enjoy going to, where the fans are crazy, or is there anything that gets you jacked up other than normal?
The UFC sells out. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The UFC sells out everywhere it goes. Every city, country has its own flavor. We're going to Montreal in May, which I love appearing in Canada because Canadian fans are absolutely rabid. The O2 in London is a great arena. The English UK fans are, again, crazy. Paris has been great. Brazil goes nuts. It's just, again, it's all about where I go. Yeah. I mean, I'll travel to Germany and Europe anytime I can. It's amazing in Asia, whether you're in China or Japan, sometimes the fans are a little quiet until the action happens, and then you hear, ooh, or you hear some rings. But Miami is an example of the electricity that can happen, especially during a great night of fights. Yeah. And when I talk about Asia and Japan, they're so respectful. They get wild at the moment. Otherwise, it's just they're very intense when they watch their sport.
Yeah, I would think. I think the British fans get kind of nutty. I mean, I see WWE stuff and some of those crowds. I'm sure it's the same type of thing with the UFC. But it seems like the Europeans get like really crazy, like real hardcore crazy in those events.
A couple of pints of Guinness changes a lot of attitude, so it's all good.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have a favorite fighter you've named like over the years? I mean, I'm sure there's names that stuck out to you that you love calling that name more so, or it's all business all the time. I don't know.
No, I'm very passionate and happy to call every fighter because the show's not about me, it's about them, and I try to give them every bit as you witnessed on Saturday night, lung power and passion I can throw into it. I can't name the greatest or my favorite because there's so many. I've announced to everybody. It's like asking me what my favorite fight is, but George St. Pierre, Chuck Liddell, Habib Nurmagomedov, of course Conor when he walks in the octagon is very electric. Back to the old days of Randy Couture and Vitor Belfort. There's just so many.
Well, there was something crazy that happened on that Saturday night card. I wanted to ask you. My son even asked me about it. What was up with Jean Silva getting you involved with him in the introduction of your name? He was like pushing on you the whole when you were announcing his name.
Fighters will come in and they'll like come close to me with their faces and stuff like that. Remember, this is them to me, not me to them. I get into my space close to them. I'm unlike other announcers that, with all respect, just stand center ring or center cage or whatever. I used to fight. I've been a martial artist since I was 12. I've earned 3 black belts and done a lot of fighting, never as a professional, kickboxing heavily for 10, 12 years. I know the fighter mentality, and my job is to enhance that moment for them and take them to the highest point I can. So when I come in and they get close to me, if they want a fist bump, I give them a fist bump. If they want to get close, like Ian Gary from England, he'll put his head on my forehead. And Gian is so passionate about what he's doing. He's cried in front of me. He's actually gone into tears in front of me, but he loves to get close to me. And he did something that night no fighter has ever done.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I'm not saying don't touch me, but he grabbed both sides of my tuxedo, pulled me in, and then he slapped my shoulders and gave me his wolf sound back. And
you had no clue that was happening, right? Obviously.
I'm totally cool with everything. It's just anything but a kiss. It's like it's all great. If they want to, and if I got a kiss on the side of the head, what am I going to do? Push the fighter away? No. These are the toughest men and women in the world. Yeah. No, any kind of gratitude or gesture towards me is nothing but the ultimate compliment. And in my opinion, it's not show business, it's show biz, and it makes for great TV. So I do what I do.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I just thought it was wild. I was saying, my kid and I were talking about it. It was like more exciting. Like what the hell's going on with that guy and Bruce? He's really pushing at him.
You're never going to see any announcers, and I say this very respectful to all announcers. I don't think that kind of interaction happens with anybody else. And if that's an example of my 29 years of being in the octagon, the respect that I get from the fighters, then so be it. It's a compliment.
Bruce, that leads me to my next question.
Teddy.
My question, this is Teddy here. So I've done a little bit of digging into you since I knew we were going to have you on the show, and you seem like almost more prolific in business than you are in announcing. And that's no disrespect to your announcing, but just respect to your business acumen. I'm assuming I already know the answer to this question, but was it your idea? Because when it comes to ring announcers, you seem to be much more mobile and physical than most. Even your brother, he doesn't really move around like that, right? Was that your idea purely, or someone else's idea, or was it a combination? How did that come about?
Mine. Totally mine.
That's what I thought.
I saw you stretch it out.
Yeah, I started out being center. I told myself if in the first 3 years I didn't develop my own style and wasn't happy with my own style, then I was going to quit, because I didn't want to be managing my great brother, Michael Buffer, who's the greatest announcer of all time, in my opinion. I didn't want to be considered Michael Buffer Jr., or Frank Sinatra Jr. I didn't want to be considered that. I don't want to consider riding the coattails. I mean, I don't ride coattails of Michael. I keep him sewn on as his manager, backing him up and, with my business acumen, and managing the brand and managing his career for over 30 years. So again, knowing the mentality of a fighter, when I'm standing there still, you ever see Butch Cassidy in The Sundance Kid?
Sure.
Okay, you remember the scene where he's shooting with Robert Redford and they're target shooting and Redford's just pointing and shooting, and he looks at Paul Newman and he says, "Can I move?" Because he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn doing it that way. And then Newman just, basically says, "Go ahead," and he moves and he's hitting everything he wants, right? I have to move. I was sitting there with the tiger inside me waiting to come out, and I told myself, the heck with this. This is not, all announcers can do this. That's fine. It's not my style. Right. The beauty of being in the Octagon and the other MMA events, because I've announced many, many other MMA events around the world, is that there's not 85 people in the ring like there is in boxing, where everybody's trying to get on camera, where, the teams are in. It's just me, the fighters, a couple of commissioners, and the referee.
Right.
And there's that 32 by 32 foot or whatever it is, 28 by 28 of the Octagon. And I know every inch of that Octagon the way a basketball player knows his half court. So I know where I'm at any given moment. And that's where I did a turn, like a 90-degree turn. And in the main event, if you notice, I'll look and I'll say, introducing first, and I'll spin around 180 degrees.
Right.
And I've jumped and done a 360 at the bequest and wishes of Joe Rogan and the fans, pushing me over a 9-month period at UFC 100. Spun in the air, landed, and gave up Brock Lesnar's name. That's a one and done thing. I won't do that again. It's just the way. I'll tell you how that started. I was over in the red corner, and I had to introduce the fighter in the blue corner. When I said introducing first, and I thought, wait, I'm kind of a little far away. So I spun around with a spinning back fist type move with my card, which is one of my favorite moves in kickboxing. And the audience reacted, and I thought, okay, yeah, that works. I'll make this one of my things. So I don't know what I'm going to do till I do it. But when I go fighting, I'm going to turn.
Hey, that's the best part about it. It's, the element of surprise that you bring to the table. It's really an amazing art that you and your brother have. It's amazing that you two, I assume you're half brothers, correct? You're not full brothers?
We met late in life. We met it when I was 28.
I thought it was an amazing story. Brad, I'm going to bring that subject up in a little bit, but Brad Levitan is a friend of mine, and his business partner was with Bruce, and he was telling me the story. I didn't even know that story, and I've been following, your brother a lot, because I was more into boxing over the years, and then I got into UFC as my kid got into it. My son loves it, and all his friends love it, so it's been exploding in my household for the last, probably 10 years at least. But yeah, I really like you to, if you could tell us that story. It's quite amazing how you guys didn't even really know each other until you were older, right?
I'll give you the short version, because it does take time.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been a boxing fan since I was young. The heyday of boxing in the 80s and 90s is just unsurpassed. The personalities fighting back then. My dad had me watching boxing right out of the womb when I was born, whether it was Tuesday night fights, Wire World of Sports on a Sunday, or Saturday night events. It was, baked potatoes and New York steak and watching TV. My mom cooking and us watching and all of us getting it together. So we're huge boxing fans.
Okay.
With that being said, around the late 80s, Michael became really popular, as popular as the boxers. And we're watching during the Tyson era. Now comes this very handsome, debonair, James Bond looking man, but giving a whole new look to ring announcing. And they put Chiron, his name on the screen, Michael Buffer. Well, I've owned telemarketing companies. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I had my first company when I was 19. And I was in the telemarketing industry, doing it legally, not the Wolf of Wall Street, but I was like the Wolf of LA. I was very, very, I was good at what I did, and I taught and trained thousands of salespeople over the years. So, but we didn't have internet back then, and we had phone books. I never saw my last name in a phone book ever. And I've seen every phone book in the United States. So when that name Buffer came on, I'm like, whoa, who's this guy, right? And he's so darn handsome and good looking. I thought, well, we don't really look alike. Some people say we do, which I take as a compliment. And I started calling. I just got really overly curious, and I started calling Don King and Bob Arum's offices, trying to find as much information I could, and found out that he grew up close to where I grew up in the Philadelphia area. And long story cut short, there was a fight here at the Reseda Country Club, in a small venue in California. He was doing, and my brother Brian and I pushed Dad to basically call, because people were coming up to me saying, "Is that your brother, the guy that goes, let's get ready to rumble?" And I was being stopped everywhere. And I go, "No, my brother's Brian." And I told my dad this when we were driving one day, and I said, "Do you have any idea who this guy is?" And he looked at me and turns around and he goes, "I think that's your brother." And I'm 28 years old. I go, "Dad, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Son, I never told you. I was married during World War II, 20 years old. I went overseas for 9 months. I came back, a divorce ensued. And the last time I saw the child that was born while I was gone was when he was 2.5. And I believe that that's him."
Wow. Amazing.
So he called the venue. Michael called him back. They got together for lunch. They got along famously. Everything's fine. Michael was raised by foster parents under the name of Huber, never formally adopted. And when he went in the Army at 20 years old, they said, "You're not Michael Huber, you're Michael Buffer." That's it. Had that not happened, we wouldn't be sitting here talking today.
Wow. Amazing. And you know what? It's the two best in my lifetime. Listen, I've been following the game of boxing for at least 30 years myself. I can't think of anyone better than you and your brother or what you guys do. It's amazing what you do. You got the most two iconic phrases in the history of the game. It's time, and let's get ready to rumble.
Hold on. Those are trademarks, Scotty. You can't be saying those on the show.
Well, he's with us. Am I okay? Do I have to pay a toll?
Send me a check. Send me a check.
But no, just amazing. And I'm going to ask you one last question, then I want to get into your other business venture with our friend Brad. We've got some samples here on set. But what's your take on the explosion of the sports betting that's coming into? I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but the explosion of sports betting over the last 3-4 years, making the UFC more and more popular, because we're in the gaming business, and we noticed such an increase of guys interested in betting on these fights. I think it's exploded as far as making, the UFC even more popular than what it is.
Yeah, no, it's exploded. I mean, obviously, where there's betting, where there's good sports, there's betting, and the billions of dollars that are bet in this country each year is just absolutely phenomenal and worldwide.
Yep.
There's a lot. I don't bet on fights, but there's a lot of action on the fights. I don't like the odds on fights. When somebody's a 5-1 favorite, it doesn't excite me to bet $100 to win $20. When they're a 20-1 favorite, like Holly Holm, like Ronda Rousey was over Holly Holm, I knew in my heart, with all respect to Ronda, that was the fight that she was going to get taken out in, because Holly was a true striker. I told everybody, I said, put money down. I was almost tempted to put.
Are you allowed to with your?
Sure, I can if I want to. But
and are fighters?
I'm an equal opportunity announcer. I don't want to have that in my head.
Of course.
There you go. All right, that's
I bet on football. I'm a big poker player.
Yes,
blackjack. I final tabled the World Series $50,000 high roller tournament last summer at the World Series. Made the final table, and I've been called the. I'm not crazy about this word celebrity, to be honest with you, because today a celebrity is like, how many pictures do you put on yourself on social media or whatever, to a large extent, or whatever they do. But I believe in true talent. and I also believe in everybody's created equal. So I'm not really crazy about the word celebrity, but I was voted one of the top 10 best celebrity poker players in the world 10 years ago by Card Player magazine.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I wanted to talk about your other ventures you're in, and one of them is with a good friend of ours. Well, obviously, he's your business partner in this right here. Guys, if you can get a look at it, it's called Puncher's Chance. I know what that means. I don't know if everyone else out there, everyone has a shot if you got a puncher's chance in winning. But this is a brand that you and, yep, there you go. I love it.
This is the original.
Oh, the original. All right.
Yeah, this is the $30 bottle.
We got that one.
Yeah, we got that one here, too.
Yeah, this is voted the top 5 best sipping bourbon in America at its price range. We're very proud, and we've won multiple gold and platinum awards, including the one you're holding, which is the Undisputed, which is the single barrel version.
Yes, I have that right there.
You can go to puncherschancebourbon.com, and you can put in your zip code to find out stores near you that sell it, or you can order directly off the site. And we have limited editions. We have a 12-year version and a 14-year reserve version, and others, including the Warrior Spirit version. which is designed after myself.
Oh, wow.
It's the same juice as the original that I held up, but there's only like maybe 2,000 cases of this out there, and probably almost all gone. So it's going to be a real collector's item.
And how long you been with the company, Puncher's Chance?
We've been marketing Puncher's Chance now for over 3 years.
3 years? Okay. Yeah, it's crazy how this even came put together. I was sitting at, I know you know the story, but I want everyone else to hear it real fast. I was sitting at my club, having lunch by myself, minding my own business. I'm from Boston originally, so I catch twang when I hear someone talking, and there's a guy sitting next to me. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. I hear the accent, so I turn over to him. I said, "You must be from Boston." So, he starts going on. He took right in, and we started hitting it off immediately. And he says, "Do you like bourbon?" I said, "I'm not really a drink." So he says, "What are you into?" I said, "I'm into sports." Oh, he says, "I'm partners with Bruce Buffer from the UFC in my business." I said, "Wow, that's amazing. I love Bruce. We've been following the UFC. My kid loves it." So to make a long story short, if it wasn't for Brad Levitain, we wouldn't be here today. And he put this whole thing together. And I really appreciate you giving us the time, because I know you're as busy can be. But that's how this whole thing came together. I'm just sitting at the bar at the club where I live, and meet a guy I never met before, and he put it all together that quickly. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate what he did for us.
Very cool. Brad's a great guy. He's a great partner and great at what he does.
I think we have one more question, and we're going to let you go because I know you're a busy man. Did you have something for him, T?
Yeah, me and Teddy wanted to know if you and your brother went toe-to-toe and knocked it on, who's the winner?
I
don't want to, not that my brother's not a tough guy, but, Michael's 80. I'm going to be 67. I'll be 68 next month.
Is he 80 years old, you said?
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
Wow.
He's great.
That's amazing.
Michael's too handsome. I don't want to ruin that face. But listen, Michael's a tough guy, too, in his own right. There's no question. But
you think he would have handled that?
I don't think Michael wants that kind of fire.
You think Michael would have taken that little shtick that Gene Silva did with you the other night? I think he would have been going crazy on him or something.
No, not. I don't. It's just that's not the kind of interaction Michael's ever received from a fighter.
I know.
And Bruce, BruceBuffer.com. If someone wants to get you to do like almost like a cameo type of greeting or what intro, they can go there too, right?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because one of our biggest side business, my partner Chris and I, they can write into BruceBuffer.com. I probably get anywhere from 10 to 20 wedding requests for audios and videos. We do special introducing wedding couples into their reception. The thank you notes we get almost bring tears to our eyes. We charge a very good price for it. That I could charge a lot more, but we try to make it affordable for everybody. And I'm in the top 10% on Cameo.
Oh, so you are on Cameo also?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cameo's big.
Okay,
so I cameos.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I do championship introductions, birth of babies. Businesses can write into BruceBuffer.com for corporate events, or
there you go.
If they want social media videos, based on approval. I get requests for so many different things, but at BruceBuffer.com we have an order page there where you can get a audio championship introduction or a video, or anything else you request. I don't do weddings at Cameo. They have to all go through my site because I film them in a tuxedo in front of a green screen and make them real special.
Oh, that's we almost let them off. We did a contest, Bruce, for the last several days to our audience. It was just a wild contest. We asked them the poll question: how many sports jackets do you think Bruce Buffer has in his wardrobe? And we've had guys sending stuff from 700 to 500 to 200s to, 50s, whatever the case may be. But we wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth so we can award a $100 gift card to the one that's on the money or the closest to the money. So drum roll.
That's very interesting. Active suits and stuff. I mean, at last count, let's just go with this. I would say 90 suits.
90 suits.
Jackets, yeah.
All right, you heard it, guys. Right from the horse's mouth. We're not making it up, because our audience sometimes thinks that we're going to make it up, but this is coming right from Bruce live. Bruce,
you asked me, I have to give you an answer.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. Again, thanks to Brad. We wish you guys nothing but the best with the Puncher's Chance. We're going to promote it through our social media things. We have sports bettors, sports enthusiasts all over the country, outside the U.S. So I think our crowd is a good crowd for you. It's guys 21, 18, all the way up to 49 is our biggest audience and higher. So I think we can help you guys push it out and make something happen with it. Well, we really appreciate it.
I appreciate that very much. And, Puncher's Chance, we're just really proud of it. I can't say enough about that brand if you're a bourbon drinker. And if you want to smell good while you're drinking the bourbon, the It's Time cologne is a top seller.
Oh, wow. Now I like it. I like it. You got anything else you want to put on before we go?
I don't want to convolute it too much. We'll keep it at that. But, Puncher's Chance is our baby. But, if you're going to be out, you might as well smell good because the ladies absolutely love this.
Did you have it on in Miami the last couple of days you were down here?
Of course I did.
There you go. How about the ladies in Miami before you go? What'd you think of that? There was some real talent in that crowd, I'll tell you, that night. I don't know if you kept spinning around or anything, but there was some talent in that audience.
He's doing some 360s.
I'm not dead, Scott.
Huh?
I'm not dead. I have eyes.
I see that. You found me, so that's good.
I live in L.A. Miami's a whole nother world.
Oh, you're in L.A.? Okay. All right, Bruce, thanks so much. Have a great day. And listen, if you have anything you want to launch, come our way, man. We love to promote it for you. But we're in to help anyone that's, willing to give the time like you are to us. We're willing to turn it around and give it back to you.
I appreciate it very much. You're very kind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Scott.
One last thing. Are you going to be at the UFC in Vegas for the summer? Because I'm going to come with my son, so I want to definitely say hello to you.
Yeah, it should be by the Octagon because that is one of the busiest weeks that I have. I'm going to be in Aberjanian or I forget the name of it. I'm going over to Europe the week before I get back. That is like the busiest show.
International Fight Week.
Oh, it's just nonstop. Moment I hit the ground and the moment I leave.
All right. We'll catch you up.
It's a huge show.
Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you soon. Thanks again.
You. Take care, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
The great Bruce Buffer, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Woo! Can't get any better than that. What do you think of that, guys?
That was good, man.
That was good stuff.
Can you imagine? I was just sitting at the bar in my, not that I'm a bar drinker, but I was just sitting there having lunch and just start talking to Bruce.
Hold on, Scotty. Were you having a chicken sandwich?
No, I was probably having either a tuna fish sandwich or maybe a pizza.
I've gotten some food with Scotty, and the last 4 times I think I've been out with him, he's ordered a chicken sandwich.
Same as me. Every time I go to get the chicken sandwich, got everything on the side.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. I'll tell you. Smart guy and a businessman. Damn.
Yeah, businessman before 19, he became
19 years old. Trained thousands of people, he said.
And that
maybe he needs to train us a little.
Yeah.
What do you think? The bourbon's not bad. I like to try the age bottle. That sounds pretty good too.
I like the bourbon a lot. Well, we have this other one here. Maybe we'll try that one also. Or
where did we go from this, guys? I mean, I'm back with you guys now after talking to the great Bruce Buffer.
Now we got to talk that degenerate talk again.
Yeah.
Well, I was enjoying it, man. I would just sit back, relax, and listen to Scott do all the interviewing. We got to get you on CBS Dateline or something.
I like talking to people like that. I mean, they're interesting. I mean, a guy like that is just like, shit, when do you have a chance to talk to a guy like that one-on-one? And it just came out of nowhere. So I love it that it came this way.
And you got to meet him on Saturday night. So that was
Saturday
great.
night. He
saw the picture. Looked pretty good.
He worked his way over to me. And
your son had to be pretty impressed. He looked a little happy in that picture.
Who knows what my son. He probably figures, Dad should be able to pull that off anyways. But anyways, great show. Love it. And guys, listen, we got some action going tonight. NBA playoffs. If you guys want to kick it in, we'll spend a little time. We got 2 games on tap tonight, right here in our backyard. Well, it's not in our backyard. It's where you just came from, Chicago.
Speaking of Chicago, I was up in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. The big talk up there is the NFL draft. I know we're going to get in the NBA, but the big talk is the Green Bay. The NFL draft's coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And where's Aaron Rodgers, by the way? Nowhere to be found.
I heard he worked out with Pittsburgh again over the weekend.
I hear so many things about him in Pittsburgh. I don't see anyone spending the money yet.
But Miami's quarterback, Cam Ward, he's the high prospect for the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, they're liking Cam Ward. I don't think they're liking Shedeur Sanders too much. Shedor's not even going to be going to New York for the draft. He's going to be staying home. Cam Ward's going. I have a feeling we might see Shedeur Sanders slip in this draft.
Very possible. Either that or he's going to go high. It's they're looking at him. The Giants, they keep looking at him, but they haven't pulled the trigger finger. I guess
the Giants, the Eagles, and I think the Patriots said they might give up their number 1 pick this year.
For him?
For everything, they said that. I was reading that on the ticker coming across. The Giants, Eagles, Patriots considering trading up for the first round to secure top talent. So. Let's see what happens.
All right. Well, let's get into some action tonight, guys. We got plenty of time to worry about the NFL. The draft is next week. We'll have plenty to talk about, I'm sure. Got 2 games on tap tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls. This is kind of like a rematch they played about a week or so ago. The game right now, Chicago's -1.5 at home, 220.5. Anybody got anything on that matchup you guys like?
I'm staying away from that. You know who I'm going with on that.
Here we go again.
You know I went to touch the Heat. I'm not a Heat fan, so I'm staying away.
Teddy's not a
If
fan.
I had to bet that game, I'd bet against the Heat in that situation. I'd go with the Bulls.
Anything on the other game? We got Dallas and Sacramento. 5.5. That line's moved up to right now.
213.5. I'm actually putting this one out tonight. I'll give it out to the people here tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas. I'm going to take the points here tonight. I'm going to take the 5 points against Kings. I know the
I'm
Kings,
showing 5.5.
5.5. It's solid fives right now at the Circle, Westgate, everywhere. I'm going to take the points here tonight. I watched the games last night. We got secured 2 7 seeds last night. You had Golden State winning, which were blown out by 20 points. Let them come back there.
Yeah, I don't know what they did.
I don't know. Morant sprains his ankle, comes in. I don't know what they did to him there. A lot of foul trouble, and they still win by 5 points, though. He got hot with the 3-pointers at the end.
Orlando won easy.
But
they've been playing better of late, so they won pretty handily in that game. So you're leaning towards Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas. I got to take the points here tonight. Sacramento, I know they play him tough all the time. I think they handed them a big loss last time out. But I got to take the points here. I think Dallas is the best bet on this one here tonight in this late show tonight.
Okay. Anything with you, Ted? Or you're out?
No,
of it today?
I would like. If anything, I would.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know I'm trying. I really am
squeeze
trying
something
to
out
get
of me.
something out of these guys.
You're going to squeeze something out of me.
Pulling...
Dallas is a dumpster fire, in my opinion. So I just would go against them. So I'm actually going to go against TK on that one.
Okay.
I'm going to bet against a dumpster fire. Probably maybe move that line.
Let's
to
try.
4.
Let's try something else. Who do you guys think is going to win the NBA championship this year? Let's do that.
OKC all the way.
OKC for sure.
All right.
It ain't going to be the Miami Heat, I can tell you that.
I think the Celtics are going to find a way to win it
Well,
again.
you know what? Here's what I might say. The Celtics experience, you're going to get some little NBA talk from me. Watch out. The Celtics experience might, the OKC.
Ben, are you sleeping?
Do you guys know that the average age of the OKC team is less than the average age of Auburn was this year?
I did not know that, Teddy.
Yes. Auburn had 25, 26, 24, 25, 26-year-olds on their team. OKC's young, so I might actually lean with you, Scotty. I think the Boston experience, it might take them past.
But you know what? Those youngsters on OKC play damn good. They play damn good team basketball, man. They're going to be a tough out, I think. You know what? The Lakers could be surprising, too. You get a hot Luka and you get a hot, Reeves and you get a hot LeBron.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Definitely.
It's going to be interesting. I think the NHL playoffs are going to be more interesting than anyone because I can name like 10 or 12 teams off the top of my head that got a shot.
Panthers had everybody last night, Tampa Bay.
It doesn't matter about
it doesn't
that.
matter.
I'm talking about moving forward. Second season, man. Electricity
Saturday,
levels
baby. Saturday, it all begins.
Yeah. Anybody have any early pick they think that's going to win the Stanley Cup this year?
Winnipeg for me.
I'm going with the Panthers repeat.
I think the Panthers get knocked out in the first round this
really?
year.
You think they're on the wrong trend?
How about these LA Kings, man? Quietly,
Vegas Knights.
Vegas Knights. Yeah.
Vegas Knights.
So there's a lot of teams. I could name, like I said, about 10 or 12 teams. I think the NHL playoffs are going to be exciting as all hell this year. More I think, than the NBA. But we'll see what happens there. But so you think who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
I'd say Winnipeg. They're too strong. It's going to be a Canadian team this year.
They are strong.
What, like Winnipeg or Edmonton or
I'm going
Toronto?
I'm just sticking with Winnipeg. That's my
You
Canadian
got three
team.
teams out of the Canada's got a shot. Those three, right?
Edmonton's playing good too.
Yeah, and they got Connor
29,
They got
4.
Connor McDavid back. I think he's back playing, right?
But I definitely think it's a Canadian squad taking the cup.
Really?
Taking it back to Canada this year.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with some baseball. If you guys want to chime in on anything tonight, before
I got some baseball. What I have.
Don't forget, a lot of games are gone. So
what I'm doing, I got a bunch of baseball trends that I want to just give the audience, and if you guys want to discuss them, you can. If not, you don't have to. But I think our viewers deserve these trends. I'll let you guys do the games
go
first.
Right ahead.
Okay. So a couple trends I was doing some research on and reading about. I have about 5 of them. So here's a system. You got a team wrapping up a series and riding a 3-game losing streak at the last game of the series. That team is plus 42 units over the last 3 seasons. So if a team's on a 3-game losing streak, it's their last game of the series. Number 2, road underdogs between plus 101 and plus 187. Very good investment if they are on the final game of the road trip, which means...
I'm sorry, what's the price? Between what?
Plus 101 and plus 87.
What's plus 87?
Plus 187.
Wow, that's a big margin, though.
Over the last 3 years, they're 308 and 316 for a positive return of plus 42 units. This is betting underdogs. You got to look in baseball for spots to bet on underdogs. You can't just spray money at underdogs cluelessly. So these are a few situations where you can be really, really profitable betting on underdogs. I'll give you guys one more. Road teams wrapping up a series after a game in which they lost and scored less than 4 runs, bounce back well. Plus 61 units over the last 3 years. Guys, I'm going to put this on my Instagram also because I know it's kind of a lot of information. If you want to check it out, go there.
How about your best play tonight in baseball? You got one?
My best play tonight in baseball.
One game.
Should I give it to them?
Yeah.
Should I give them the play that I'm giving the guys that pay me?
Oh, that I don't know. That's up to you.
Should I do it?
I think you should.
If you
Should
do
I
it, I'll do it.
Okay. Here's a pitcher that I've been going against for the last 3 or 4 years.
All right.
He used to be on the Nationals. He is no longer on the Nationals. He is on a different team now. He's on the Rangers now. He's going against the Angels. I'm going with the Angels first 5 innings on the money line.
It's funny you say that. My best bet's the LA Angels tonight.
I love the Angels
Minus
tonight.
130.
Scotty, let's go, baby.
Minus
Let's
130.
go.
130 on the money line.
Yeah. The first 5 inning money line is a little bit more expensive. It's 150.
Okay.
But either way, go with the Angels. Go with the Angels first 5. TK, what do you
I'm
got?
staying away from that. I'm going to get one out here tonight.
Let's do it.
I'm going to do the Seattle-Cincinnati game going this evening. Goes off probably, it starts in 1 minute. I'm going to give it out now anyways so I can see what
1
happens.
minute. You're
Starts
not
in 1
giving
minute.
anyone any time.
Well, all these games start at 6:40
We're going to get
Eastern.
off the show and run to the windows.
Well, they'll see it wins and they can hit me up tomorrow.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to jump on Seattle in this one. It's a pick 'em right now. I gave it out earlier. It's minus 120. It moved down a little bit. Seattle, they're 4-1 their last 5 games. They're 4-1 their last 5 against Cincinnati. And they're going against this pitcher Martinez. He's 0-5 his last 5 against Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle on the road as a pick 'em. It's starting right now.
Right.
If you guys can get it in, you can probably live bet it right now.
Yep. Well, they can live
They
bet
can
it.
still get it in.
All right.
Seattle Mariners, straight from TK himself, guys. Make sure you get that in.
All right.
I
All
see
right.
the sun's starting to go down. It's starting to get down.
We're not used to being here at this
No.
time.
I think we're going to cut it short today, guys. I think we hit what we had to hit. It's a light board of games. We're looking forward to the playoffs coming. Don't forget, each and every day, we go on live. TK and I go live. Sometimes we'll bring Teddy in with us live on Instagram. So check that out on Instagram, on his channel, on my channel. You'll be notified when we do go live. Or if Teddy's on with us, we'll go live.
But before we go, man, I gotta get some respect, man. Rory McIlroy, Kyle Larson.
Hold on, guys.
Come on,
guys.
No.
Talk
Come on,
about
6 to 1,
No,
6 to
no.
1. We gave it up before this
Scotty,
game.
it's the
Kyle
Masters.
Larson.
Come on.
You could talk about the Masters for a month straight if you want to.
I thought the best part was
TK.
the celebration.
Got
of
the
the
nice
pound
win in there. I gave it in. I gave out Kyle Larson too.
And you know what the craziest thing was? I texted somebody else thinking it was you, and I said our 2 guys are going head to head today on Sunday morning, and I thought I texted you, and I texted someone else, but our 2 guys went head to head, and your guy won. I got to give you props for that.
There you go. Rory McIlroy. I'll tell you, that was some emotional celebration that he had, and he deserved it. He's been a steady, great golfer.
Imagine
for a long
trying
time.
to do something.
5
Imagine
other people
trying
did.
to do something for 15 years. That was the last
It
major.
was 11, right? Wasn't it?
Well, yeah. I wanted to exaggerate a little bit.
Well, my buddy George was trying to do something
You
for
can
the
exaggerate.
last 15 years, and then finally happened. He got divorced, so it does happen.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you don't want to exaggerate too long. You want to get rid of it fast. But no, that was unbelievable. And the way, unfortunately, it dragged on from missing that 4-footer on the 18th, on the 72nd hole to force it to go to a playoff. Oh, my God. He must have been like saying to himself, is this going to happen again to me? And then what a shot he made in that first extra playoff hole.
The other guy hit a great shot, too. Stuck it close,
but he
missed
was
the
about
putt,
10, 12 feet out.
He stuck it 3 foot away, 4 foot away.
No, that was Rory.
Rory, no, the other guys. But
Yeah.
10, he missed a putt. Rory stuck and made a 3-4 footer, took
Right.
it in.
Yeah, that
great
was it.
shot in there.
But it's amazing the response he got for winning. You know, you saw the emotions, the breakdown on him, and everyone was rooting for him. So, you know, that's good to see. You don't see that too often with sports, but that was definitely an emotional win for Rory. I don't know. What do you think? You think he's going to be is he going to be one of the, he's in the top, few in the world?
I was actually questioning. So he was number
jump?
2. He was number 2 going into the year, and Scotty's not, having the best year right now. So there is a chance. I mean, I don't know if you could look it up right now, but there's a chance he could jump. He could jump Scotty Scheffler.
Right,
I mean, the Masters is a pretty big thing. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of points, but Scotty was pretty high up there too, so he's going to get points also. I think he was like 6th, 7th, 8th play. Like he was like top 10.
What's the next major coming up? What's the next one?
PGA US or US PGA.
British Open?
British is the last.
British is last at the
British
PGA
is the last.
Championship.
No, British is
British is in what, August?
Yeah,
July?
August. So one's going to be in June, July, August.
Then we got the Kentucky Derby. We'll talk about that in a couple weeks coming down the road.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Soapbox Derby coming too?
No, we got
You got that coming in. What is that? In Akron?
Actually,
Akron,
I think
Ohio?
at the place down in
the
Miami.
Soapbox Derby, man. I remember
they got
that
the
as a
midget
kid.
races down in Miami. I think going on Thursday nights now. I head down there one
I'm
night.
surprised Bruce didn't comment on your shirt, man, because that thing was like
midget car racing.
sticking out big time. Yeah. All right, I think we got it all, guys. What a great show we had. I just want to, again, thank Bruce Buffer, my man, for coming on with us today.
I just wanted to let you know you had a couple comments.
Oh, okay, great.
So we had someone just say, hey, what's up, guys? Miami swept by Bulls during season. Dallas swept by Sac during season as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I like.
That's good.
That's why I like both those teams. But Scotty, to that guy, Scotty always says it's hard to keep beating the same team over and over and over again. So don't always let a season sweep.
Yeah, it's a different. Listen, guys, I've told you this before. I mean, maybe in the play-in rounds, it's not at the highest level. Once it gets to the, you still got to win the play-in to get to the playoffs. So, the intensity levels go up on these games. Throw out some past records, especially if they played each other fairly well.
Yeah, don't put too much weight on the regular season.
Yeah, so
football's different because they're playing hard every game. Football is a totally different. But for basketball, especially NBA, don't put too much stock.
Anything else, Ben?
That's all for today.
All right. Well, listen, I want to, again, thank Bruce Buffer coming on our show. Great to have him on here. I want to thank my man, Brad Levitain, for bringing him on. Brad, thumbs up to you making it happen. I thought he wasn't going to ever make it happen, but he made it happen, and I can't appreciate it anymore. And, again, check out the brand. That's the bourbon.
Me and Teddy already have.
That's Brad and Bruce Buffer. They're partners in this company.
Cheers, Ben.
So check that out.
Don't forget to thank Beyond the Score.
I already did that.
We gotta give them,
we will say it again. Beyond the Score for letting us take their time slot, which was very cool of them. I know sometimes guys have their slot. They don't want to change it up, but they let us change it up because we had to accommodate the time for Bruce. So thanks to those guys.
He was great
guys.
to listen to. He was great to listen to.
1 second. Beyond the Score, we're not giving it back. It's ours now. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
Just joking.
All right. TK, my man, where can the people find you? Not that they don't know already. Where can they find you out there on social media?
All you got to do is go right to my personal website, the official website, tkwins.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at TKWins. I put free plays up there daily. You can see my stories, what I got going, any specials. Check it out on Instagram at TKWins.
Man, that shirt's blowing me out. All right. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, behind the sports profits, Teddy Brooks. Where can they find you on social media, Teddy?
You can go to _profits_pick, no S after pick. Make sure you see the blue check mark. If you don't see the blue check mark, it's not us. And then you can go to our website, thesportsprofits.com.
Who won that contest?
I'll have to check it out. We got to wait for
90.
Yeah, I think it was the guy yesterday. I'm pretty sure I got it on.
Bruce gave the answer. So
yeah, I got to check it out.
Came from the horse's mouth. Make sure you.
I'm gonna look it up. I can tell you right now who won it.
Reward the winner.
I will.
Well, did you get the DMs today? Because that had been cut off by the time made the announcement.
I took snaps of all the DMs.
He made the announcement around 6:22 p.m.
I'll find him in here.
Eastern
the
time.
other day we snapped it. I'll find out. They'll get it by tomorrow.
Guys, I'm Scott Matthews. I love hosting the show, especially on days like this. We have great guests, and the guys, we all got jacked up to having Bruce on here. And you can find me each and every day. Again, I'm live every day now on Instagram, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Me and my boy TK. Teddy comes in when he can, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Check it all out. And obviously, we'll be back here, I believe, next Wednesday. I don't know the exact time, but we'll notify you guys when we'll be back with the podcast show. You can find me on Instagram at SM Sports Picks, Picks, the blue check mark, like Teddy says. That's us, the blue check mark, not someone else.
It's not official, but I think that's Invante. I'll send him a DM right now.
Okay, the blue check mark. Also, the podcast show. Find us on YouTube. It's called Get the Edge Sports Podcast. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple. You can find us everywhere, guys. Come on. You should know who we are. We're going to try to give you that winning edge, whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever it is. We're here to try to break these games down and give you those winning edges and talk about anything else that's on our minds, as you see. Have a great day today. We'll catch you back here next Wednesday. Boom.